Volume's on. We are recording. Welcome back. All the new subscribers, welcome here.
So don't forget to click the subscribe button at the end
Yes.
of the video like everyone else.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button
And like the video.
and likes.
Subscribe and comment.
Yes. Okay. Square matrices have inverses. If you can figure out what the inverse is, what you'll get is 1, or the identity. So let's put a number here, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if anybody can figure out what I would have to put in here to get 1, 0, 0, 1. What would have to go here, so when you multiply row 1 by column 1, you get 1? What could work?
Yeah, you need 1/2, 0.
You're saying 1/2 and 0, this could work?
And 1.
Yeah, that works for the first one.
And then the top left corner, top right corner is 0.
Top right corner is 0.
Or no, yeah, 1/3. Yeah, 1/3.
Let's see, I don't know. Let's see if this works.
I don't know, I think it does, Jerry.
Okay, well, it gave us 1 for the first one. What has to go here?
Where?
You need a 0 there.
Yes, which is why we have 0.
You want 2 zeros here?
No.
No?
I thought you were talking.
We need,
Using us, Jerry.
I'm asking you to just guess and check. We'll see how close we can get to getting a matrix here
No, it's not.
that equals 1, 0, 0, 1.
Okay, no, wait, first one's right. Yeah.
First one works for the first one. Is that as far as we can get?
No, can you,
Well, maybe some other people helped in.
oh, we gotta check. Just got 6? Okay, no, it works. It doesn't equal 0.
Now, what happens when I take row 2 by column 1? Because if I take row 2 by column 1, I should get
We're gonna get
0.
25.
So we have a problem here.
Yeah, we do.
We need a 0 here. Whatever we put here has to equal 1 here and then 0 for the second one.
You gotta take that one and divide it by that one, and we'll get that one.
Take that one, divide it by that one, we'll get that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Function or a calculator for this?
Yeah, there's probably a function on our calculator, the inverse button. That'll work. Okay. Currently, we're at an impasse. We can't figure it out. Okay? This is the formula for figuring out the inverse. You figure out the determinant of your original one. Then you take your matrix and you switch things. You switch these corner ones, A and D. And you keep B and C the same except make them negative. So let's go back to our original question. What is the determinant of this?
3. Wait,
Determinant would be 6 minus 20 would be negative 14.
Yes.
Then it says switch these two. So this is where I'm saying that chances are we could have been here a long time. I had to cut you guys off. Because if I switch these two and multiply by 1 over the determinant and distribute that through, this one will be negative 3 over 14. And this one will be negative 2 over 14. I don't think you would have got this. And then these ones stay the same, but they become negative. And then negative 4 times negative 1/14 would just be 4 over 14. And down here we would have 5 over 14. And sure enough, if we take this times this and multiply them, you get 1. When you take this row and multiply by that, you get 0.
But here it says it's the other ones that are negative.
It does, but because our determinant was negative and I distributed that in there, that is why this happened. Okay. So here is couple matrices, we're going to find the inverse of them.
That's not the one we just did. Oh, man. Let's have to determine.
This is a nicer one. Determinant is pretty.
6 minus 5.
Right? Determinant will be 6 minus 5. Determinant will be 1. So if this is A, our inverse would have a 1 over 1 out in front, which won't do anything, right? These two will get switched, 3 and 2. These ones will become negative, and that's the inverse. Check it out if we actually multiply those two together. 2, 1, 5, 3 times 3, negative 1, negative 5, 2. What do you get? 1, 1, 0, 0. Pretty cool. Second one, what's the determinant? 3 minus 0, the determinant is 3, so our inverse will be 1/3, negative 1, negative 3, negative 2, and negative 0 is still just 0. Because the determinant is going to be the blue, 6, minus 5 is 1. And the formula says you have 1 over your determinant. So it'll be 1 over 1 of that. Can you see why now, if your determinant is 0, there is no inverse? Because the formula has 1 over the determinant, and then you'd have 1 divided by 0, and that would be bad. You can only do 0 divided by 0. No. All right. So let's see, how do we find inverses on our calculator? Well, let's just, you go to your calculator, you take a matrix. Do I have any square matrices in here?
Yeah, you had
Number,
2 by 2.
let's do that 2 by 2. Let's just look what it was 104, 80, 107, 103. Can you see where that one would not be the most fun one to do by hand? I mean, the determinant's just going to be a little bit nasty. 104 times 103. Big number. Minus 80 times 107.
Minus 80.
But your calculator has built into it. Okay. Your calculator has built into it. If I go second matrix, I pick that matrix B. And then I do the x to the minus 1 button, it figures it out for you. Okay? Now, these are big numbers. I don't think this will work, but you can even go math fraction. And it does. It changed it back to fractions. Because your determinant was 2,152.
What's the dot, dot, dot at the end there?
Just means that
Oh, you can move it.
I can move it over so I can see more of it. Do you see how these numbers on the diagonals got switched? And the 103 and the...
But we can just put the 1 over 215.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And they even reduced some of the fractions for us.
How you can do the 1 over that in the front if there's 2 different fraction numbers?
Well, then you would have to get a common denominator for all of them and pull it out. So that's how we can find the inverse. Now, I will not be asking you to do the inverses of 3 by 3s by hand. So when you want to find the inverse of a 3 by 3, there's the inverse of the 3 by 3 that we had written in earlier. So anytime we're doing stuff with 3 by 3s with this, then we're going to do it with a calculator. Whenever we're going to be doing 3 by 3s solving without a calculator, we're going to use a different technique. Okay, so type this one in and find the inverse with your calculator.
Yes.
And they all passed out. There's only one left sober. So the bouncers come.
We are recording.
300-pound guys.
Yeah.
Like, you need to get paid. As soon as they arrive, you have to pay them.
Yeah.
So he's paid. I think it was $5,000 worth of.
Does someone have this on their calculator?
Credit card, and he had a wife.
Do you have the inverse for this one?
How does wife?
Yes?
He had to try and explain it.
All right.
Subwares. Subwares. I gotta get some of those.
$5,000 in Subway.
Negative 11/6, 7/6, 5/6, 4/3, negative 2/3, negative 1/3, negative 7/6.
Rich people probably scammed them, like they gave the receipt, this was made badly or something.
Your receipt is made like that.
Perhaps.
The food was
Not
made
top
badly.
quality. I think you can use that while you're in there.
All right, that is the end of this video.